I wanted to tell you that last week the World Sankirtan newsletter came out, and it's kind of Silicon Valley is not number one in North America, not number one in North America and Europe, but number one in the entire world, and by a long shot. We're ahead of Mayapur, ahead of Delhi, everywhere. Of course, we always said we were going to beat Delhi, we were going to beat Mayapur. We didn't want it to be like this. Uh, but my point is the efforts that you all put in, and I've been getting notices from various devotees around the world wanting to know. I gave a talk to the leaders of India yesterday or the day before, I can't remember which day it was, but they wanted to know what was going on, how were we doing it. I'm getting calls from all over the world, actually, everyone asking, well, how is this done? So the trouble, I saw everyone put in a lot of tapasya to do what we did for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's tapasya. But it's a light for the whole world to show how to not back down in the face of any kind of obstacle, but rather to step up. And this mood that you've adopted of stepping up in the face of obstacles is gaining Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's merciful glance. That's why he allowed us to do bigger than we've ever done on book distribution in a period of time, short period of time recently. So my humble request is, with all the confusion and restrictions going on in the world, please channel your energy into expanding the Sankirtan online as much as possible. And for no other reason, to inspire the world, because that is the devotees in the world. They're amazed, and once you hear scores like this, there's no longer any impediment in the minds of others. They just feel that now we know we have to also do it too, and we have to figure out how to do it. Of course, one can always make excuses and say, well, that's because you have better telephones than we do, or something like that. But anyone who wants to sincerely do this can move up. So we're coming to the end of the year now, believe it or not. It's almost over. It'll be over in a few minutes this year. And and also, believe it or not, the struggles caused by this pandemic at some point will start to tail off, because the modes are always churning. And right now, there's a particular configuration of the gunas that are causing this, and it'll change. But right now, we have an opportunity to, what Prabhupada said was, take advantage of wartime and become heroes. He told us a story back in 1975 that during wartime, a farm boy from middle America, who's never going to be known for anything because comes from a small town, he doesn't have a huge education, never will, but he enlists in the military and he starts at the lowest rank. But then he gets sent overseas, as do the infantry, the lowest rank, and he gets put on the front lines where all the fighting is. And then, because he has this determination in his heart, during the fight, he runs into danger, risking his own life, and he saves 3 other people. And it's just out of a strong sense of impulse. And once he does that, then he makes it into the front page of the paper, and he becomes famous all over the world, and he comes back as a hometown hero. So Prabhupada said, spiritual life, getting into Krishna's inner circle, is a long shot, except for those who somehow or other become heroes during wartime. And now's an opportunity, when we are faced with obstacles and Kali Yuga is advancing, to find that determination in our hearts and move up. to expand Sankirtan. It's a good place. It's the right place to put the energy to give other people mercy by giving the Srimad Bhagavatam and all of Prabhupada's books and setting an example. So all of the initiatives that have gone into place, the the calling parties, highly important. The Bhakti community, which is, by the way, growing every week, more and more people joining and more classes being added, which is huge, and is the main question asked to me by world leaders when I present book distribution is, what are you doing to follow up with the book distribution after you do it? And I'm so proud to be able to show them, okay, here's Bhakti community. And that's another huge part of our program. The two things go together hand in glove, or as my friend Keshav Bhartimars likes to say, like peas and carrots. They go together. So let's keep putting our energy into trying to please Lord Chaitanya through these efforts of outreach, and we'll reach greater and greater heights. What is your opinion, Malini Devi Dasi? Or as Keshav Bhartimars would call you, Malini. Uh-oh.
You should be able to unmute.
Hi, Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, totally agree with you, whatever you just said. Actually, this was exactly what we needed. I was just going to ask you for some words of inspiration. And devotees have been putting a lot of energy in the calling parties, not just calling people, but even also brainstorming ideas on what works and what doesn't work. And last week during the calling party, we discussed and we thought, whatever we have done for Bhaktivinoda Thakur marathon, we have to start that all over again for Bhadra Purnima. And we should start today. So which means that what we noticed that each doing a little bit actually helped a lot. So we are going to go back and reach out to the devotees to ask to reach out to their contacts and to continue that effort. So that's what we thought we will do this week and going forward.
Could you tell me how many devotees participated in the last marathon?
It was 108, sorry, 300 and
That's a lot. 386 or something like that, right?
Yes, our goal was 300.
I think that's, out of all the statistics, that's the one that's the most impressive to me.
Yes,
is the wide base thing. I just want to say one other thing about not giving up. I learned a lesson once. We used to go on Sankirtan every single day, and as far as we were concerned back then, the scores counted more than life itself. And so one night I was out at O'Hare Airport in Chicago, and we had about 20 devotees out there at that time. And there was a devotee named Giri Jadava. He never did huge scores, but he was always really steady. And the night we were out there, there was huge numbers of Navy recruits. Not just recruits, but they were already in the Navy, and they were being dropped off at the airport to fly to their various places. But they had been warned on the bus that there would be Hare Krishnas in the airport that would try to sell you books, so don't take it. So for the first few hours of distributing, everyone was saying, no, 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 get away, get away. They could see you coming, and they just say, go. And I admit that I stopped talking to them, and I kind of lowered my energy, and I thought, oh, it's not possible. So I did very little that night, and I concentrated on other people. But Giri Jadava, I saw him going from one person to the next, one to the next, to the next, with a full energy. And I was thinking, oh, what a waste of time. He's just wasting his energy. And at the end of the day, when we were in the van coming home, all of us, and we were sharing how we did, he had done huge. And I kicked myself. And I thought, that's the secret. Don't give up. Depend on Lord Chaitanya's mercy and keep going and let him reveal where it is. So sometimes in these phone callings, when you can't see it, people at the end of the line, and you're not sure where's the new kind of leads we're going to get, where are they going to come from? They will come, but be like Giri Jadava and just keep going, keep trying, and don't just apply your energy evenly and keep doing it no matter what the result is. And there'll be bigger and bigger breakthroughs. That's advice for this next phase.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That
Hare
was
Krishna.
so helpful. So we're going to join the calling party at 2 p.m. today again. And kids are presenting again to Seattle. They're on a marathon. And this afternoon at 1:30 p.m., kids are presenting to the Seattle temple. Their sadhana, seva, and sankirtan seminar.
Jai.
Prabhu, that's all for Sankirtan announcements, Prabhu.
Okay, so the calling party is at 2 o'clock today.
Yes, Prabhu.
And do you have some leads for devotees if they come on? What will the experience be?
Prabhu, we actually have a list of all the people who took Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita in the past. We are trying to see if we can get referrals out of them. We are trying, and out of that list, last week, Sachinandan Gaurang Prabhu distributed a Bhagavatam set who didn't have a Bhagavatam. So I think that is something that we are trying. And when we ask for referrals for people, some of them have said that yes, we will think about it and get back to you. So we are going to follow up with them to see if they have any referrals yet.
Okay. Let's ask Shrisha, our stalwart of stalwarts, any advice or, what's in your heart? What drives you to just keep going and keep calling?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I'm thinking the success rate is more when we contacts in our private list, which we have in our phone. The success rate is more when we contacted in regular people. So as Malini Mataji said, we requested all devotees to contact at least one or two this time also, so that we can reach our goal. But that is one of the thing. And another thing is all my contacts list is over, so I'm taking my Prabhu's phone now. I'm checking my Prabhu's phone contacts list. So I'm asking his contacts, which is okay to call, which is not like office people, but somehow we are like that. We are trying. And India, some people are interested, Prabhuji. So we sent 6 sets India last week. My family got. They wanted to donate 3 sets after my father heard from my son Arjun that we are doing this project. So my father was so inspired, and they want to distribute on Bhadra Purnima. So they ordered some sets, and they are asking their home language connection after these books. They got the books, and they said, how can we read this? We can't understand. They opened the books, they are saying. So I'm looking for any people who already got the books and for the connection next, how to read them, maybe in their, so I'm asking some Shivas Pandit Prabhu or some other Prabhujis to give a class also for them. So we are all doing in this process. Prabhu.
Yes, that's important. And I found in calling the list last time I was on of people who already had Bhagavatam sets, I called one man and he said, yes, we got the set. It was for my wife. I'm not interested in these things, but she got it. I said, did she ask if she liked it? And he said, she hasn't opened the box yet. So the point is, there's still a lot of potential in these leads, because somehow they made a big choice to get a set of Bhagavatams. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And if we can catch that same thread that they were on, then it'll lead to a lot of nice things. Mm-hmm. And also the follow-up with the, there are some devotees who are, that have gotten on the Bhakti community, and they're inviting a lot of their friends to come on. I'm seeing it. There's one man who's inviting more and more of his friends, and they're really high caliber people coming on. And the more we network with people and make friends with them and just find out what their needs, interests, and concerns are, even if they don't take right now, just leave a really good connection and impression with people, and it'll all add up. It'll continue to grow as a big, big networking project. It's not about a one-time thing. Thank you, Shrisha, for your example, your stalwart example.
Thank you.
Undying enthusiasm.
Prabhu, I just wanted to add that Shamarupa Prabhu and Durga Prasad Prabhu, they're trying to get in contact of all the temple list. around the US. So if you contact each temple, they have a list of devotees that they have, and also the yellow pages, so we can get a lot more people who are inclined, because they already go to the temple. So we should have that list soon, Prabhu, so we can try to call them as well.
I hope soon means by 2 p.m. today.
We have a
That's
few,
a-
Prabhu.
That's an excellent idea, and I'm glad that he's leaving. They are leaving no stone unturned, because that's the mood. Thank you. Excellent.